So welcome to today's daily practice on the 28th of the 3rd, that's the 28th of March 2023. Yesterday in the office hours, we were talking about tons of things, but one of the things that Peter brought up was the issue of writing with white ink. So I'm going to take today's daily practice and do a little bit of a demo as I've come to the end of the Copperplate Script majuscules, sort of the incursion into the Copperplate Script majuscules. I am going to use those majuscules and I will mix the gouache up and show you how I do it. I'm actually using Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleedproof White. And I'll mix that up, show you how I mix it up and how I use it so that you get a better sense of how you can try to use it as well. And so before we start, we obviously need to look at the tools and materials we're going to use for this session. So sort of indeed this session, Thursday's session, and next week's sessions of Tuesday and Thursday for daily practice. So this week I'm using the grey pad, and next week I will use the black pad. So this is, so I have a couple sheets of layout paper for couching. So this is very, very thin. A jar of Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleedproof White, which I will open in a second. My lining template, my PAScribeRhodia pad. Let's just move this to over here. I think that's better. Some mapping pins so that I can use the template on the pad. And water on a bit of tissue, a syringe, my white brush. So I have one brush that I use for white, which is only ever used for mixing white, and two Gillot 303 nibs in their pen staves. So I'm going to put that out of the way where I can't knock it. And I will get to making a decision about what I want to do with the writing up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to figure out how large I'm going to write. I feel that I'm going to obviously use the double height. So I'm working at 6mm x height. So the caps will be at 12mm. I'm going to rule some smaller lines, some 3mm lines, just to give myself some opportunity to play with the heights of the letters, and so let's rule those up first, and then we'll get to the mixing of the ink. So that's the lining template. So I'm going to line it up to the bottom, line one of the cuts up. Actually, I already have some holes here. So I'm just going to grab some of the anchor pins, which are really, really thin and tall. And I'm really only going to put 2 pins in. I don't really need to put 3 pins in. And I'm going to rule up so I'm going to rule up I'm going to rule up further down the page. So once I've done that, I have a batch of half lines. You can see, you can just see them there. Let me zoom in so you can see them. So you can see the half lines there between the 6mm lines. And now I'm going to add the 55 lines to this. So that's T for top. Let's get the tram pins. Where's the 55 there? There's a 55 here. So I'm ruling every other one. These have little lines on them, so you don't have to actually count each one of them. And once that's done, let's get rid of that. I'm going to take this out of the pad. So I always sort of push it against the underside, because it really helps with the micro perforations. Of course, I've set this up for Copperplate Script, so you know to rule this up is a little bit more difficult. Oh, that's funny. I actually missed one of these. Let's go in and fix it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line up the go. And line that up to I find when I take the page out of the pad, I tend to rule it up a little bit lighter. So that's something that, you know, once you get your templates, that's something you'll want to consider. Now, where is that sheet? So this is just a crude sheet that I've made to give me some vertical lines on the template. And it's just paper, and I've put some tape on it, so it helps me to stop. Because normally when I do this kind of template work, I stop at the bottom, so I have some space to actually write some notes in. So I've ruled the sheet up. Let's zoom in so you can see what it looks like. And you can see that it is 55-degree lined now with some verticals, and that's where I'm going to work. And there's some 3mm halves so that I can either work smaller or double up or add 3mm to a 6mm line to either give me 9mm or to give me 15mm for the cap height. So, you know, working that out mentally is really important, because you need to figure out what size am I working at and how can I rule it up to make this a little bit easier. Now, the thing about mixing ink in a jar is mixing something like gouache, or something that is a suspension rather than a solution. So most inks are solutions, and things like gouache and Bleedproof white, they are suspensions. So the pigment has to sit in suspension. That means that it can drop out of suspension, so you do have to keep stirring it. So what I've done here is I have a brush that I only use for this Bleedproof white, and I have another brush that I use for gouache, which I clean regularly. So this is the Bleedproof white, and you can see that there is some liquid in there, and that's where the pigment has collected, because I generally have mine in a jar like so, and so it sits at an angle, so it collects at that angle, and that's where it sort of collects at the bottom. If I'm not using it for some time, what I will do is I will go and I will mix, I will put some water in it just to cover it so it doesn't dry out. You really don't want it to dry out. Now, I've not added any gum arabic to it. What you're seeing is the binder that Dr. P.H. Martin's adds to it. What you're seeing is it leaching out of the mixture. But once you mix it up, it just mixes back in. So if you feel you want to add a little bit more binder, which is gum arabic to it, be very careful, because if it's for a final piece of work, you are going to affect the color of the white. So you will make the white a little bit less white and slightly creamier. So let's mix this up. So I have my brush. And what I do is this. So I pick up the liquid in the bottom with the brush, and then maybe I'll give you this view. And then I push. Oh, sorry. Then I push the brush against the sides. So I'm pressing the bristles against the sides to take off any excess Bleedproof white on the sides, and then I mix that all in. Now let's see if I can get in there a little bit more. So look at how, do you see how fluid that is? That is really liquid. See, look how easily it moves. So this is the consistency of, I would say it's the consistency of whole milk as opposed to single cream. Then I press the brush on the inside to get rid of any excess off the brush. You can see there's a bristle that's come loose now. I've had this brush. I've had this brush maybe for sort of, coming on 20 years. So, it's only ever used to mix this white up. Now, that's going to stay in suspension for quite some time. And if it doesn't, then what I do is I just pick it up and I roll it around like so. to create a little bit of movement. Now I'm going to put that into that ashtray like so. And from there, let's give you this one. And from there, when I'm writing, I can dip straight into the ashtray. I can dip straight into this like so. Now what I normally do is I don't dip this way. So do you see how the reservoir is on the top? I actually dip from the underside. And so that picks up the amount of ink I need. And then if I need to drop it off, I tap it in there so it comes off. So I will, I'll do a demonstration here. So what I would do is this, dip, and tap. Did you see a little dollop of it drop off? And you can just see it just on the tip there. That extra bit of white, bright white that you're seeing on the camera, just there. So that's off of this. Now, that still feels a little bit on the thick side for me, because of course, what I learned when I was going through the work was I prefer the ink to be a little bit thinner for practice, because the reason was I wanted to use something, you know, white on the gray pad, which gives a nice contrast. But I didn't need it to be super solid. The aim was to produce beautiful hairlines and smooth script. So if that's the aim, then that's different from producing a final piece of work where you need everything to be quite solid. So mixing the ink, mixing the Bleedproof white to the right consistency is really important. And you really have to set out from the start what you're going to do with it in order to decide on the consistency and fluidity of the Bleedproof white.